The Chinese government is editing school books in Hong Kong and removing unacceptable books from the school curriculum. CCP has now advanced on its promise of integrating Hong Kong with the mainland Chinese system. The existing system of education is being changed, as several pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong have been attributed to what's being taught as a part of the curriculum. The ongoing overhaul has the approval of Chinese President Xi Jinping himself. He noted its utility in maintaining social stability in Hong Kong. Observers believe that this is CCP's attempt to prevent the youth of Hong Kong from being politically engaged, to hollow out the aspiration for freedom and democracy. Books that have any mention of democracy, self-determination, the Agreement of 1984 and elections in Hong Kong have been axed. More than 200 such titles have been removed from school libraries. An autobiography of Wang Lingyun has also been removed. Lingyun was the mother of 1989 student protest leader Wang Dan. All books related to the 1989 pro-democracy protests have been removed, and the revamped curriculum includes books that hail China and dismiss Hong Kong's colonial past as inaccurate. In the past, several pro-democracy protests have rocked Hong Kong in which CCP's policies were openly criticized. The 2011 campaigns against patriotic education by secondary school students, and the other examples include the 2014 youth-led umbrella movement, and the 2019 protests began as a campaign against extradition law and grew into a movement that demanded democratic elections. An opinion piece published in the CCP-backed Ta Kung Pao in 2020 gives us some hints. The article refuses to recognize British sovereignty over Hong Kong Island. It claims that the colonial status of Hong Kong was wishful thinking on the part of the British. The article argues that the removal of Hong Kong from the UN list of colonies implied that Hong Kong wasn't eligible for independence like other former colonies. This is a part of CCP's new nationalist education program in Hong Kong. Hong Kong was a British colony from 1841 until its handover to the Chinese rule in 1997. The Japanese occupation between 1941 to 45 was the exception. Hong Kong's colonial status was the result of a pair of 19th century treaties, and these treaties were signed at the end of First and Second Opium War. In the late 20th century, China was unwilling to extend the lease on these new territories. As a result, Britain entered into a protracted and continuous negotiations with Beijing over conditions for the return of Hong Kong to the Chinese rule. As per the Sino-British Joint Declaration signed in 1984, China would take control of Hong Kong under a one country, two systems arrangement. This arrangement was meant to keep the city's economic, political and judicial systems distinct from those in mainland China for 50 years. China now refuses to recognize the agreement, and with the new national security law, freedom of expression and the right to protest have been nullified. With the CCP doubling down on removing any vestiges of democracy from Hong Kong, the future of civil liberties look grim.